Welcome aboard Pisswake Airlines. Leaving a little bit later than usual. So, because I just had a Friday fuckery. Already had Friday fuckery. Just driving up my street, man. Didn't even do the pre-flight checks. Hope you bring your own drinks and snacks because you won't be getting any on this flight. Oh my God, you know how things happen in Australia? So we had like this, it's still really bad up north and the northwest, like excessive amounts of rainfall, and there's been heaps of flooding. Um, the southern end of the island at the moment is doing okay, but um, last night and yesterday, as you can probably start to see as we drive along, there's quite a few branches down. We had incredibly strong winds. And my house is on stilts, so my house was a rocking, but also creaking. And my bedroom is where the flex is, and the wind was actually bashing on that end of the house. Normally, the wind comes from the beach side, which is the other end of the house. Last night, it was slamming the flex and where my bedroom is the most. So I actually slept on the couch, and weirdly, actually had a really good sleep until about 4. I woke up, and then I just went back to my bed because now it's creepy. Including that one that I nearly drove straight over. Hey, we're back. I am safe. Thank you, Ruth. Hi, Anne Marie. It's possible reception's going to drop in and out a bit because, yeah, we're experiencing a bit of a natural But that was a bit sus though, wasn't it? Like, go live, start talking about the flooding here, and then disappear. Sorry if I startled any of you. Hi, Scott. I was actually singing ground control to Major Tom while it was spinning around. So yeah, everything down this end of the island isn't too bad, but a lot of branches have blown down, which that's fine as long as they don't go through a car or demolish a house. But some very bad flooding up in the north and northwest. Lots of rivers are flooded, and already hearing stories of loss of livestock and so on. But yeah, it's dead calm after a really, really rough day yesterday, like all day. Part of me was the house was just getting slammed by the wind, and then rain would come and go. It was something else, and then I haven't slept badly, but I've slept roughly, I guess. So I don't know how I'm going to function at work today, but I think we'll all be a bit tired because that sort of woolly weather keeps you a bit on high alert. The second thing that happened is I've got like a little USB port that plugs into the cigarette lighter in my car. And I'm normally charging my phone when I'm live, but that just completely crumbled in my hand when I went to check that the plug was in it. I've now seen the inside of one of those USB things. It's quite pretty, but it's completely fucked. So my phone may well go flat. But obviously I'll be able to charge it when I get to work. But apparently we've got more rain and woolly weather today. But at the moment, so far, at least down here, it's not looking too bad. But that could all change when I get to the city. And the third Friday fuckery, I did the dishes last night, and I've got my travel mug with my coffee in it. Do you guys hate it when you wash your travel mug, a bit of the washing liquid gets trapped in the lid, so when you make your coffee the next day and you start taking sips of does anyone have that problem? That little slip of blue sky is very pretty with all the cloud. No one's chatting. Maybe everyone left. I don't know. Things happen in threes. Oh, and down below my house, there's shit everywhere. But that'll be a fun little weekend project, just putting things back where they're meant to be. Like my wheelie bin, one of my wheelie bins is halfway down the block. We will rebuild. But now New South Wales and Victoria are getting hit with the same weather, and it's way worse there. Don't get me wrong, the floods up in the northwest and north of Tassie sound bad. And I suppose some footage will start coming out today, and a better understanding of how bad it is, or hopefully it's not too bad. But Victoria and New South Wales are getting absolutely smashed as well. These are not usual weather patterns. The sort of flooding that Australia's been copping in the last couple of years it's different. It's unusual. Oh, you're still here, Bruce. And I saw that you sent me a message, sweetheart. I'm sorry I didn't get to look at it before I hit the road. Because I'm also running late. Because I got in my car and I was like, where would my phone be? Pulled everything apart here. I don't have a lot with me in the car, so it didn't take long to go, phone's not here. So I went back up into the house. Sunny had told her I was going to work, so she was sulking. And then I rocked up again, and she's like, she's back. Did the full lap of the house, all the places my phone could possibly have been left. No phone. Came back down to the car, had another look in my little basket. Like I said, it doesn't have that much in it. And everything in it is in like individual, like a makeup bag or a handbag. Like there's no loose things. Lifted up the basket, the phone was on the seat because I'd obviously put that down on Tori. Friday, I'm in love. So that's my fuckery. Does anyone else have anything they want to whinge about? Because this is the day to do it. I do love waking up to new messages in Messenger, but on a work day, um, especially one like that. I think just like not sleeping in your own bed, sleeping on the couch, as delightful as it was, and Sunny was pretty excited because she sleeps. She gets on my bed until I fall asleep, and then she goes out to the living room. But she was really spooked by the wind. I mean, the house was rocking and creaking. And I closed my bedroom door because there was a lot of noise coming from my bedroom, like just the flicks. So she liked me being out there, but it just sort of throws you a little bit, you know, and then it gets sort of that normal morning routine. Skitty Nana, hello. You said a prezi to your sister, but not even acknowledged. Ran. Boo. Bad sissy. Bad sissy. Oh, sorry, it was Ruth's sister. Wait a minute. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, windy as fucking Iowa too. Jeez. We're copping it all over the place, all over the world. I mean, these bloody climate change deniers really need to kick up the ass because every place in the world is now experiencing extreme weather patterns that, were 1 in 100 year type events are now becoming 1 every 4 years. Tassie had some really bad floods. Hobart flooded really badly back in 2018, I think. Northwest Tasmania got absolutely smashed a couple of years ago. Like the bushfires that we have now are 100 times worse than they used to be. But they now don't even call them bushfires; they call them firestorms. You look at all these natural disasters that are happening all over the world. Could be causing that, we ask ourselves. Why? 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 Houston, we have a problem. The internet is, well, my mobile phone coverage is patchy at best. Hey, Miss K. Somehow, I've got to be careful with the chat. I'll fucking peek at it. about, and we're back again. This is new and novel. If anyone starts saying you're buffering, no kidding. I'm aware of that. We've had massive storms overnight, so it's quite possible the mobile phone reception internet would be happy if the internet was down today to make my job hard. No, she wouldn't. No. And I'm back again, guys, apparently. See how long it lasts. Sunny is doing very well. She wondered why the fuck I was sleeping out in the living room with her last night, but she was happy about that. Thank you for asking about Sunny. But yeah, I'm hoping today's nowhere near like yesterday because I'm pretty sure she was relatively okay with it because I was at home. But she got completely scatty and zoomy and freaking out and hiding. And that wind that just smacked me then was pretty hard. But um, yeah, I hope she's okay. Plus, I've got something on after work in the day, whether I go to this thing or not, because I don't like driving at night in good conditions, let alone shitty ones. Back again. Yeah, I don't know, and that seems to be a global phenomenon. Phenomena. Where the shittier the conditions, the greater risks people take. Have you noticed that? So yeah, if it's blowy and raining and awful, um, one of the benefits now that we're heading into summer and we've had daylight saving is it's still light driving home from work. But yeah, if the conditions are less than ideal, I will be pulling out of this thing that's after work because I'd rather get home safely than have to deal with lunatics on the road. Hey, Journey to Justice. Thanks for the caps reminder, Ruth. Wisconsin. Well, hello. Are you getting lots of wind? The airport is to my left, and that's looking relatively okay. But yeah, we got absolutely pelted with wind and lots of rain yesterday, but nowhere near as bad as up in the northwest of the island. There's a lot of towns that have evacuated, and they're going to be returning to God knows what today. I'm going to throw lots of love in their direction, and hopefully, if there's fundraisers and things like that, I'll be able to help out. But yeah, they've copped an absolute beating, and so many towns under evacuation orders. But yeah, the planet's getting belted way harder than it used to be, and so I don't know if I was live or not when I was talking about King Charles Ruth, but there's definitely an interview with him or a doco um, about him using grabs from a speech or something that he gave. But because his mother dedicated her life to service and was apolitical. In fact, we didn't even know what footy team she liked. Okay, see, here's a classic example. The current roadwork speed limit is 60, and the car that's about to pass me is doing way over that because apparently it's got to slow down now anyway. But I didn't really enjoy having that car right up on my ass. Shit, you had tornadoes yesterday. Ruth, you've got wind. I don't know if you're talking about everyone around you is experiencing weather wind or whether you have wind, which is probably what you're saying because you're funny. Shit, so tornadoes. So hopefully everyone's okay. Back again. Sorry, guys. Obviously, the storms have probably blown down half of our mobile phone towers. There's fuck all reception. Oh, there's still 4 of you here. Thank you for hanging out. Hey, Joey. We've had really massive storms, and there's huge flooding going on up in the northwest of the island, and down south we had really full-on wind and rain yesterday. And internet reception's been really bad the whole way in. I didn't even think about that. Not to mention my phone isn't charging while I'm live, and I left home late, and my blog has heaps of things on it that don't look like they belong to me. There's bloody beach umbrellas and those sunshade things you take to the beach, they turn into kites and balloons when there's wind. There's shit everywhere. Like, there's some dude's jacket that's blown onto my block. I saw my wheelie bins were over. Like, it's just chaotic. But it's really calm today, and it's sort of creeping me out because I don't know if it's like the eye of the storm that we're in at the moment, or, this is just a normal calm day, but because the last 24 hours have been so feral, this feels weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I got used to all the bloody slamming winds against the house and my house rocking and creaking, and I actually slept in the living room because the noise in my bedroom was too much from the wind. Hey, Scout. Your little sunny girl was very scared yesterday and last night, and I made a decision to sleep out in the living room just because the wind was smashing against the wall, which is 2 stories high. Like, where my bedroom is, it's the highest part of the house and the longest stilts, and it's where the flex is. So it was, my house was rocking, and just the noise from the wind, like bits of wood, it sounds like they're being ripped off the side of the house. They weren't. Well, I hope they weren't. I haven't actually had a chance to check for damage, but the house is pretty solid. It's designed to withstand a lot because of it being on stilts. But even so, Sunny last night was just freaking out. She had the zoomies and like the batshit crazy ones, and her ears back and her eyes, wide open and black. But she was flipping out. So I closed my bedroom door, and that reduced the sound a bit, and I slept out on the couch. And there's a little ottoman that you guys see her on a lot. It's this daggy falling apart thing that my sister gave me 20 years ago. And she always says to me, "You don't have to keep that ugly thing." And I'm like, well, it was Biscuit's favourite spot, and now it's Sunny's favourite spot. So the ugly thing stays. But, yeah, so I slept out in the living room, and, I wasn't sure that I'd be able to sleep in my bedroom anyway because of the flex. My bed would have been rocking, and just the noise, because it sounds a bit like a whip cracking. Jesus Christ. Poor person's got a flat tyre, and they're visibly on the side of that car fixing it, and this other car was not paying attention and came pretty close to her just then. That could have been fucking awful. I'm fully paying attention to the traffic right now, Grievous. Please don't think I'm ignoring chat. I'm not even risking a glance because there's a car broken down on the other side. There's shit going on everywhere, guys. So, yeah, I slept on the couch, and the ottoman was right next to it. And I think I woke up at like 4 or 4:30 and went back to my actual bed. And then Sunny came in and did her usual 5:30 a.m. spring lamb hops all over the bed, which I love. It's so cute. But now, yeah, it's dead calm. It's sort of almost creepy. But like I was saying, I don't know if it's creepy because we've all just put up with like 24 hours of absolute battering weather, or if it, and I'm just not used to it being calm. I don't know. Or if we are in the middle of a storm, I don't know. It's weird. It's unsettling. But we're meant to be getting more rain today, and like sort of the monthly equivalent of rain for Hobart, if not more, in one day, sort of thing. So I don't know. Wait and see what happens. But yeah, if the weather does turn again, which they're saying it will, I don't really want to be driving home late tonight. It's just dickheads on the road who, and I've witnessed this in my travels around the world too. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. There's something about, oh, it's pissing down with rain, or it's foggy and visibility's low, and people just drive like absolute lunatics. It's bizarre. There was a fatal car crash overnight on on a major highway that links Hobart to Launceston. Which is awful. Everything's very green though. All this rain has kept us. We don't look like a sunburned country yet. I'll have a chat with you, Groovers, when I get into the car park or when I'm at a traffic light, surely. But yeah, I'm a bit edgy because people are just driving a bit weirdly. It's all very weird today. I'm out of sorts. I slept really well on the couch, but I think that shift in my routine and the fact that my keep cup, the coffee tastes like coffee and washing liquid. And my little thing that charges my phone while I'm live is broken. But it's also where I plug in my Bluetooth speaker in the car to listen to musics. I mean, it's got a battery, but today started very wonkily. And you know the really dumb things? See, like, I'm not even going to comment on that car and what they just did. I normally work from home on my Friday. But stupidly, because I have this thing on after work, I was like, oh, I'll work from the office on Friday. I could have just woken up, had a nice breakfast, hung out with the Moogie, logged on and worked from home. But instead I'm out in traffic with weirdos. Yeah, it is sad. We've had a very high number of fatal road accidents on this island this year, like way more than last year, and they've been just fucking horrible ones over and over and over, like really bad ones. Lots of young people, like 3 kids in a car killed, that sort of stuff. It's been fucking horrible. Horrible. But then, I used to drive a lot with my previous job, and I saw bad driving all over Australia. And people just seem to be getting more and more, I don't know, aggressive. Tassie's always had shit drivers, but there's this sort of speeding, risk-taking, arrogant kind of behaviour now as well. Tailgating, just aggressive shit. And really abusive. There were a couple of girls in the car the other day that went past me. They were P-plate. Well, she was a P-plater. So on a provisional license. And so young. And she was probably doing 20 Ks over the speed limit and weaving in and out, like from lane to lane. And at one point, I had the misfortune of having them right up my clacker. I was overtaking a car, and the next thing I had this car behind me, fully tailgating me and like flashing their lights and blowing their horn at me as if to say speed up. And I was already doing 110. And I got over once I passed that car into the left lane, and they accelerated even more and went flying past me and gave me the finger. And I'm like, interesting. It is, the law-abiding citizen just driving responsibly. And then I watched them weaving in and out of traffic, and I was like, and where are the cops now? Like, they'll book someone for doing 68 going through a little coastal, or 65 going through a little coastal town, 5 Ks over the limit. But you've got these young kids just bloody speeding and abusing people and, putting people in danger, essentially. And they don't get caught. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to witness a 28-point turn. Oh, just well done. James Castlegate was on his truck. I don't know if that's a business or his name. I love driving slow and steady too, Scout. So yeah, my phone hasn't been charging the whole time I've been live. But I have a charger on my desk, so we'll be fine. But look, we made it. That wasn't the most enjoyable trip in. I cannot lie. But yeah, I'm hoping it's pretty still down at mine today because Sunny was not great yesterday, and I think the only reason she wasn't worse was because I was home. But we're here. I think I'm going to have a weird day. Isn't it funny when something in your routine, like I'm not really a stickler for, routine. Like I like a bit of chaos at times, and I like change. I'm one of those human beings that isn't freaked out by change. But just the smallest shift in a routine, like going to bed at a certain time, getting up, going to work, like sleeping on the couch instead of sleeping in my bed, even though I slept really well on the couch because it's comfy as fuck. It can just throw you. How's the house from the wind? It should be fine. Like the engineering is beautiful because it's on stilts. They did a really good job, but when you live in a house on stilts, there's always a flex. It has to be able to move, otherwise it'll fall over. So the downside is when it's really rocky weather like it was last night, woolly weather, the house will rock. Look, the worst thing about this is my bloody Keep cup has got washing detergent trapped in the lid, and so my coffee tastes like detergent. But yeah, so a few things under the house. Most of the things under the house are uh, secured, but there's always something that, can get wind under it and away it goes. But somebody's jackets ended up on my block, so I shook off the sand and I put it on the fence post, like near my driveway. So hopefully someone will see it and know it's theirs and take it. But if not, I'll take a photo of it and put it on the community page and just say, does anyone own this jacket? But there's people on the community page that have had all kinds of shit land on their blocks too. Like a few people did feel a bit. When I first moved in, it took about 3 years for the house to properly settle. There were a few people did feel a bit seasick in it at the start. I didn't lose power that I know of. If it went off over like during the night, it came back on, and I don't know about it. Basically, there were no. Pardon me. Turn the heating off in my car. There were no electronic devices that were sort of doing that flashing on and off like they went off overnight thing. There was no damage. I mean, I've got to check the external wall, and the next time I get the gutters cleaned, I'll get the gutter guy just to check the roof is all still hunky-dory. But I mean, what we copped down here last night and yesterday was nothing like up north. They're underwater. Like there's entire towns that have been evacuated. And what if I take the lid off my Keep cup? Will that stop this little aftertaste of? I rinse my lids all the time because this has happened before. That's another thing I'm finding as I get older. Like, I'm becoming more and more sensitive to scents. Like, I mean, the dishwashing detergent that I use at the moment, I've used for the last 4 years at least. But it's even starting to, the aroma in it is starting to be a bit strong. Like when I'm doing the dishes, I'm like, oh no. And I couldn't get the brand I used the other week. So I bought like the most sort of eco-friendly one with the least sort of offensive aromas, and I couldn't use it. Like the first load of dishes I did, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to gag. Like it was so strong. So now I'm thinking I'm going to have to find like a dishwashing liquid or soap that doesn't have any fragrance. Like I'm getting highly sensitive to stuff as I get older, and I don't want to be this person. Like I have really extreme allergic reactions to friends of mine, their dogs now. Two lots of friends with dogs. When I stay there, I have to take a puffer and I have to take antihistamines before I leave home, and I have to get outside and get fresh air because I can't be in a house that animals are in for very long. And yeah, things with like fragrances. I've got a friend who sometimes stays with me and she uses like a really strong perfume and a really strong deodorant that I can smell in the house for like days after she's left. And I always say to her, can you take it? And I hate being this person, but I have to say to her, can you take it a bit easy with the perfume because it fucks me up. And yeah, I don't want to be this fragile fucking snowflake middle-aged person who's highly sensitive and allergic to everything. That's not my dream. I don't want to be that person. It's embarrassing. Mother Nature has been so wonky, all over the world. But those climate change deniers will just keep on denying. I feel like I'm looking for something and I don't know what it is. What else have I forgotten? God, I don't know where my head is today. Got my work keys. I've got my puffer. There's my wallet. I seem to have everything I need. It's weird. I am wonky. I'll be so happy. I hope my clients today don't have too complex. Actually, that's another thing. Since we're venting, I really love my job. It's really rewarding, and like any job in the law where you're fighting for someone's rights is. I'm just putting on some makeup too, by the way. Is really the climate is having a mega ongoing hissy fit. Exactly, and it's no, because this sort of El Nino weather pattern that caused all the massive floods in Australia earlier this year, it's still going, and it hasn't fucked off yet. It's a persistent little pattern. Oh no! Don't tell me I don't have my makeup sponge. Oh my god! To put it on with my fingers. No, I found it. Thank fuck. Glasses, cigs, lighter, wallet, puffer, masks. We don't do the masks. Here, no masks. Oh, I mean, some people do. Like when I went and saw Passenger with my sissy the other night, and he was fantastic. We had a really good night. There were some people wearing masks at that concert, but yeah, the mask thing. Like COVID got here after us not having any COVID at all for over a year, and watching the rest of the world. It was interesting because he was in London in lockdowns and he'd just broken up with someone and he was, just basically in his apartment with his cats who are all lunatics according to him. But I love that he has cats. And he was really affected by it, and we kind of felt bad because we know how badly so many other parts of the world and even other parts of Australia were affected by it, but we managed to keep it out, and we had this really unique experience of the benefit of little islands is so many small islands managed to get COVID free and close the borders. And apart from, empathizing for people in other parts of the world who weren't having such a great experience, we still don't really know how extreme it was for people. So he was pouring his heart out about it, and then he's very chatty with the audience, and somebody said, yeah, we were COVID free for over a year, and he just looked at us and he's like, oh my God, even more reason to love this place. But hearing people's stories and how much it affected them and so on, it really was a strange time, wasn't it, Groovers? That we all lived through. Like, who would have thought in our lifetimes we would live through something like that? I'll just put on my powder. So yeah, some people. I mean, I've still got masks in my car, but even the only place now, even pharmacies, you don't need to wear them, but you did up until only a month or so ago. The only place still that you have to wear them is medical facilities. Like if I go to see my doctor, or if you go to, well, not the dentist because they need to get to your mouth, but out in the reception area, like any sort of health place. That's about it now for us. It's purely up to people whether they wear them or not. It's not mandated. And then we had like a bit of a boom here when we opened the borders and let it in, and the numbers were pretty full on, but it seems to have all mellowed. And my sister and I still haven't got it. I mean, touch wood, but someone was saying, a friend of ours who works in medicine said the other day, you probably won't get it. But there are just people in the population that just don't catch it, and you're possibly those people. Fingers crossed. Why are you still yelling? I want to ask this without being disrespectful, but I think there's a new crime case that's about to take the true crimers now. Are you talking about that poor little boy, that little baby, Quinton? Next door is quarantining me again because her workmate has it again. Wow. You still wear yours and gloves because of your immune system? Yeah, I mean, I'm immunocompromised, but if I went into, like, I'm traveling, I'm going to Sydney for one night next week and weekend. Not this weekend coming up right now, but the following one. And I'll be wearing it at the airport and on the plane. Faux show. Faux show. Because if I'm going to catch it, I'll catch it in grubby Sydney. That is the case you're talking about? Yeah, they're already fighting about it. They're already fighting with each other. With the news yesterday that he's deceased and the text messages or the messenger messages from the grandmother saying that her daughter did it and has no recollection of it, all that stuff. They're all fighting about who got it first and who put it out, and yeah, they're already onto it. It's disgusting. I only saw one creator who seemed moved at the news, like saddened by the news, but I couldn't tell whether it was legitimate or put on for show. I hadn't actually really followed that case much, but I'd seen that, a lot of creators had jumped onto it. But once again, a tragic outcome, but they're all squabbling over who has rights to the story in a way. Like, I covered this first, that, and it's like, here we go again. Isn't it interesting they spend 4 years online? I mean, I was on YouTube long before the true crime stuff, but in terms of me being on YouTube for all the lives and everything and people going live discussing cases and whatever, was 2018 was my entree. And at the time, you'd sort of watch and listen to these creators discussing cases, and there didn't seem to be that constant, I said it first, I covered it at first, but now that's just, it's just the priority, and bitching about other creators straight into it, like that little kid, poor little boy, 20 months old, murdered by his mother, by the sounds of it, allegedly, and they're already all fighting. They've, about who did what first and who showed what first, and oh my God, this poor little kid, 20 months old. And that's the most important thing for these inverted commas true crime creators to talk about, is who showed who what first and who covered it first. Really? It's gross. How disgusting. Because when you hear them say shit like that, you think, well, why the fuck does it matter? Like, if you're interested in the case, cover it. Who gives a fuck who covered it first? Oh, okay, right. So someone else is making money off it too. And you think all the money should be coming to you because you covered it first? Is that really what's going on here? It's repugnant. I mean, I'm glad I don't rely on YouTube as an income. I don't know how I could make money on YouTube if I wanted to, but I'm not prepared to sell my soul to the devil to do it. But that hunger for money and the greed that motivates them, and just, again, completely ignoring the fact that this little tiny boy has lost his life at the hands of his mother, allegedly. They're all straight into ripping each other to shreds again. It's actually despicable. It kind of makes me feel like they're almost all sort of, chomping at the bit for another tragedy, another horrific murder, so they can be the one to mention it first. Like, they actually need someone to be killed for them to jump onto it really quickly and be like, I covered it first. Oh my God. It doesn't matter who covered it first. Everyone has their own channels that they enjoy watching and styles of creators that they enjoy more than others. People are going to go where they are entertained. I've never once gone to a channel and gone, they covered it first, so I must put all my attention regarding this case into watching this channel and this channel alone. No, I go to the channels with the people that sound like they've got, I don't know, integrity, empathy, knowledge, skills, just the basic requirements for something to pique my interest and what make me want to hang around. Let me scroll back up, guys. So, they have got worse. So, yeah, that was the point I was actually, yeah, it has got worse because of the money thing and the greed thing. And it's so transparent now. And, subscribers need to raise their standards too. Subscribers need to start demanding integrity and research and knowledge and empathy and just fucking common decency from the creators that they watch. Subscribers need to start raising the bar of their expectations too, because a lot of them, even though it's blatantly obvious what's going on, a lot of them are still blinded by the, oh, I love so-and-so. I've watched them for 2 years. I've given them half of my life savings. I love them. It's okay to sometimes admit that the band you loved with all your heart and soul are no longer putting out good albums. It's no different on YouTube. It's quite okay to go, I might have outgrown this creator. This creator used to have motives that seemed pretty reasonable and, excellent even. They were out fighting for victims. But now they just seem to be sensationalizing shit because then the money keeps rolling in. I might see if there's someone else around who resembles what this creator did a couple of years ago, because creators lose their way. There are very few people I watch on YouTube now that I was watching 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. My subscription list today has very few people on it that I was watching religiously a couple of years ago. I outgrew them. They went down a road I wasn't prepared to go down with them. And there's other creators who I used to watch all the time and I still check in on to see what they're up to. And some of the times I'm like, oh, this is actually quite interesting. I might stick around and join in. And other times I'm like, I'm not remotely interested in this. I'll find something else to listen to. It's absolutely appalling how these YouTubers go to the victims and victims' families' home and create chaos. Yeah, it didn't. It does hinder the investigation, and also the fact that cops have to, follow up every single tip they get as well. You can just imagine how many wackadoo YouTube subscribers are calling police departments with all these tips for shit they've heard on YouTube, and the cops have to follow it up. But yeah, hasn't Bullhorn bullshit Betty and fucking Dolly Vision? Is that his name? Why is it that his name? Can someone explain that to me? Dolly Vision. Why does a dude even have the word dolly in? Anyway, let's not go down that road. It's sort of a bit pervy. But haven't they gone to Quinton's home? Are they not out the front? Cha-ching! Probably talking about the money, I would imagine. Saw a clip of bullshit Betty shouting at a grandmother. She is a blithering idiot, and I love the word blithering. Yeah, when you call them out, you're a troll and you get blocked. Yep. They remind me of sharks in the water. They're just waiting around. Absolutely. Never see tour in my channel. That was a joke to myself. You don't do you do live still? Main skin. No. They're next level, they're glam rock. Main skin. Okay, I'll check them out. Yeah, wasted cop time. See, look, Scout loves your channel. They are at the grandmother's. No, so how am I don't even know if I get. No, I know that you were doing some. Like the last time I think I got notifications from you was back when the Queen died. I don't see notifications. I don't subscribe and resubscribe. I did that actually with a guy that I used to watch a lot, and yesterday I was like, "Fuck, what happened to him?" And admittedly, he hasn't put anything up for 5 months. So I'm a bit worried, but I used to get notifications from him all the time, and it's probably because he hasn't put anything new up for 5 months. But I unsubscribed and resubscribed, and now he's in my timeline this morning. So it doesn't hurt to do a little refresh of your subscriptions every now and then, because I think things get lost along the way. I was talking yesterday on my live I did about the Kylie Rodney crazy train, and there was a really nice comment from someone I hadn't seen before who was saying I need to put the names of the channels that I'm calling out in my subject or tag them. And I'm scared too. Or do I just go fuck it? Because I know I'd be able to have a reasonable conversation with any of these people I'm calling out if they wanted to discuss things with me. I just don't know if they would be able to. You know, whether that'd be really adversarial right from the start and defensive, and it probably also doesn't help I called one of the channels I was calling out the Cunty family. I even wrote them a song. She really is quite grumpy. She also might be frumpy. I think she vote for Trumpy. It's the Cunty family. I don't think that she's going to be reasonable with me after that. And rightly so. But my song was good, I thought. I think Joey's too, I think 1927's too mellow for Joey. That song was excellent. Well, thank you. And originally I called them the Cunty family with the silent U and Y. And then I'm like, no, they're not silent. They're just missing. So now they're It's the CNY family. I looked at I didn't debunk. I looked at one of her videos yesterday, and oh my God, Groovers. Seriously, fast forward through my live yesterday, going through her video. She has debunked the video that Gray did because there's no visible splash in the water. Because she doesn't understand that the overlay is a still photograph from during the day because the video footage is pitch black because it was the middle of the night. And you ain't going to see no splash when the video footage is pitch black. And those headlights make those big balls of light. Like if there even was there would have been a splash, but it would be absorbed, like it's not visible in pitch black footage. But because there's no visible splash, and she's obviously saying there's no visible splash in the overlay bit, like she's looking at it going, see, there's no splash. Well, it's because it's a fucking overlay. She also said that the grandparents were clearly in favour of AWP, and the guy that they interviewed, the grandparents must have believed that story because they thanked the tow truck driver in their letter. And I was like, the tow truck driver is the guy who actually pulled Kylie's car out of the water. The roadside assist guy in AWP, no, I don't believe they bought into that. They certainly weren't thanking him. Holy shit. Well, I was actually surprised actually at how much they rocked, to be honest. Eric is an incredible guitarist. She is delusional. Plus, she's got the COVIDs or something because she kept coughing and I had my headphones on full bore and it was not pleasant. But yeah, I don't know how to do a title that's short enough that I can mention all the channels I call out because there's a few of them. Or do you just put a hashtag in the description? Like, I don't know. I'm not up to speed on this shit. Is that the way you do it? You tag them in the hashtag, the description. I'll check them out for sure. Do you hashtag? Well, I put Kylie as a hashtag in the title, but this person was saying people need to find you because you're funny and you've got an important message, which I thought was lovely. Or you've got a nice, good sense of humour and an important message. I was like, that's a lovely thing to say. But yeah, they were basically saying you need to name and shame the people you're calling out. 3 hashtags in the description will go to your title automatically. But there's limited characters in my title. Well, there is on StreamYard. Does YouTube not give a shit, maybe? Is that the key? Is that the trickery? But yeah, I can imagine me having a discussion with the lady from the Cunty family. And then there was this other chick who was bloody insane too, who came up with all these theories about why all the other lights were stopping and what that meant. And there literally could be a million explanations for what they were doing. And her husband, Steve, she said, he's usually really cynical and contrary and disagrees with her, but she showed him the footage and even he agreed it looked suspicious. And I was like, damn, Steve, you let the team down. I was hoping Steve was going to be contrary with her, and he wasn't. He agreed it looks dodgy. Yeah, and I've seen that, and I've wondered how you do that. Thank you, Joey. I've seen people's lives with those little hashtags tags above. Thank you. I will be doing that from now on. I'll set up my StreamYard, whack the hashtags in the description, head over to YouTube and see what it looks like. And if I need to, I'll put the hashtags in the YouTube description. No, I know what you mean about the title. I've seen people's titles with all the little hashtags. I mean, fucking Bullhorn Betty's now moved on to Quinton. May that poor little boy rest in peace. And she's still got Kylie Rodney tagged in there, which is fucked. Exactly. Yeah. Kids sitting smoking, they drive at top speed back and forward to nowhere. And exactly, like they could have been doing donuts. I put them at the top of the description box before the description. Well, I'll have a tinker and I'll see what works for me. Thank you, Joey. I'll try that because I always run out of characters, but it might be because StreamYard has less characters allowed than YouTube. So it just means creating the live in StreamYard, then going across into my manage accounts, go into YouTube behind the scenes and add them then. I reckon that's what I got to do. No, that's fair enough. Like I said, I'll have a little tinker. But thank you, Groover. Yeah, I know what the hashtags do. The issue is with StreamYard, it's like Twitter, you only get X amount of characters for a title. So if you put in too many hashtags, it doesn't, you've got to reduce it to 100 characters. But I think if I go over to YouTube, once I've created the live, go to YouTube, go backstage and add them then, because I don't know if YouTube has, I think YouTube may have more characters that you're allowed to have in your title. Like, I know that people have found me. I've had new people coming in. Oh, fuck, I've got to go into work in a second. I know that I've got new subscribers because of tagging Kylie Rodney, and they've found me and they're like, oh, good, another creator who's calling out all this crap. But I also, I did say yesterday, if in November it comes out that it's declared an accident, I know already that all these channels are going to keep going on and on and on about foul play. I probably won't keep calling them out. I think I'll have to move on to the next, shit show that's happening, because I'm already predicting that, Kylie's story is going to be still being discussed 4 years later, like Chris Watts is, and like how Gabby's is going to still be discussed, and Summer Wells. Like, it's not going to stop. And I get complacent with repetition, so I won't be calling them out forever. Unless someone absolutely batshit horrible and making shitloads of money is irritating enough that it warrants us calling them out. But yeah, there'll be new people to call out. I do, yes, I do, and I need to update them actually, because when I go live from StreamYard, it still says I'm covering the Depp and Heard trial. There's a lot of shit I've got to sort out. I hope you have a wonderful night too, Scout. Yes, it is where the keywords are, and I do need to update. Every time I do a new thing, I'm meant to go in there and refresh it all, but there's a lot of tidying up that needs to be done on my channel. If only I had the time and the luxury to sit at home on YouTube all day like some of these creators do, it'd be perfect. But thanks for the advice, Joey. I'll sort that out. I need to spend some time. Anyway, there's things that are a bit outdated, and I think even my about section needs a tweak as well. So thanks for hanging out, Groovers. Have a great day wherever you are. It is Friday in Australia. Hopefully send out positive vibes that the flooding, not just in Tassie, but also Victoria, New South Wales, subsides quickly. And I will see you, Groovers, across the weekend. I'm always willing to help you too, Joey. But I love you guys, and yeah, stay safe wherever you are, because it's a crazy world out there. And I'll see you all again very soon. And yeah, big love for Sunny. She's looking after the house. I'll give her a little job to do when I leave. I'm like, your job today is to look after the house. So she's busy looking after the house. She'd be sound asleep right now. But I'll give her extra snuggles when I get home, because yeah, she was really out of sorts last night. But we made it through the night. You guys are cute. I love how much you guys love Sunny, especially you, Scout. I mean, I absolutely adore her. She's beautiful. My friend of mine lost one of her cats during the week. Poor Hank. had to be set free. He was riddled with cancer, and her heart is just so broken. God love our little floofies. But I'll see you all soon, guys, and thanks again, Joe, and Joey M, the veg, and have a good one, everybody. And Ruth, I'll check out your little video when work gets a bit heavy. I'll go and see what you sent me. I love you guys. Bye.